Howdy there, folks. This is Jeffrey Reich, filling in for Super Dave, who would usually be doing Super Dave Reigns and The Big Show on Big Show Entertainment Network, Own the Love, and I am here to do a pre-show on Mary Poppins Returns. A return that has been highly acclaimed in the media, so I've heard. We haven't gotten to see it quite yet, but we're here to talk about what it might be, what the impacts might be, is this okay to be doing a sequel so far in the future, and really just dive deep into that big old bottomless bag of hers. So, we got Mary Poppins Returns. This is 54 years after the original, man. Like, oh my gosh. So long. I believe the actual movie fast forwards about 20 years from 1910 to 1930, I want to say, maybe 1940, Depression era, essentially. But the date that the movie actually came out is closer to when the movie took place originally than we are now, which is crazy to think. Oh, just time flies, let me tell you what. That was back in 1964, but now taking the place of one of the most esteemed actresses in all of Hollywood, who I cannot remember the name of, Julie Andrews. So sorry about that. I love you. You're so fantastic. We've got Emily Blunt taking the place of Mary Poppins. Huge shoes to fill, but we're excited to see her do it. So we've also got the wonderful Lin-Manuel Miranda, the person who created the absolute phenomenon that is Hamilton, taking part in this. I don't think he had a huge directional part in it, but he is playing Jack, who is a lamplighter, as opposed to, we had Jack in the old one who was a chimney sweep. We don't have those anymore in 1930s London. We're modern, so, The basis of the story is she returns to visit Jane and Michael, the original two children from the first movie, 29 years after the original is set, which was 1910, to find they are both grown up, and Michael has 3 naughty children who are in desperate need of a nanny. Aren't we all?
I was flying a kite and it got caught on a nanny.
Mary,
Poppins, you came back.
you seem hardly to have aged at all.
Really? One never discusses a woman's age, Michael. Would have hoped I taught you better.
So, some interesting facts about this. Dick Van Dyke will be returning as the son of his former character. That's right, folks. There will be yet another absolute Broadway legend joining this fantastic cast. So, very excited about that. Read a little bit that he actually dances quite a bit in the film, and at his ripe old age of, gosh, he's got to be getting up there in the 80s, 90s. Kudos to you, bud. I can hardly do it now. So, we will also have Colin Firth, Meryl Streep, another queen, and Angela Lansbury also appearing. Now, this film has actually been in development hell since the original back in 1964. A sequel was proposed to the original author, P.L. Travers, who actually really hated the first film, didn't believe that it really displayed his vision of Mary Poppins, so gotta disagree with you there, P.L. That's a fantastic movie, an absolute classic, and I gotta say, it's one of those cases where I like the movie better than the book. But it was rejected by him. It is actually the second book. Mary Poppins Returns is based off of the second book in a 7-book series. So we have room for sequels, man. Oh, but anyway, this eventually came about in 2015 where someone finally posed this to him. And I think he's dead now anyway, so turn in your grave, PL. Movie's coming out whether you like it or not. Julie Andrews was approached to be in the film. It was a huge opportunity, and she said no because she wanted it to be Emily Blunt's film rather than hers. So there you go. Very sweet, very gracious after all these years. They are bringing back 2D traditional animation as they did in the first film. If you remember, like the penguins, the race horses, it's going to be really, really magical. We hope. So high hopes for that, definitely. We have musical style songs written by Scott Whitman and Mark Shizman? I don't know, I've written that oddly, so if it's incorrect, we'll put it in there. Though Richard M. Sherman of the Sherman Brothers, who scored the first film, was a consultant. So there's another kind of quality assurance there for all you nerds out there. It could be good, we're hoping. And as well as many of the songs refer back to the older movie, including a song called Lovely London Sky, quoting The Life I Lead from the first one, and Nowhere to Go But Up, quoting Spoonful of Sugar and Let's Go Fly a Kite. Two absolute classic songs that really touched our childhood. And speaking of childhood influence, I have one person here who just loves Mary Poppins, so we're going to bring him out in front of the camera. It is Chase Matthew Sexton. What does the first movie mean to you, and what does this sequel coming out now mean?
So the sequel is going to be hopefully the best thing that we've seen coming up from...
Better than the first?
Oh, probably not. I am going to say that. Probably not. You can't beat it, because this movie was one of my mom's favorite movies of all time, and probably one of the first movies I ever saw. Tell you the truth, it was between this and Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Oh, another classic.
I know, and you just get the nice music grooves in it and everything.
A little less dark than Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, I will say. That was a weirdly dark movie.
Yeah, that was kind of like Pan's Labyrinth dark.
Yeah, but now we get we get all those happy feelies from back in the day. This is kind of a very happy feely movie in an era where Disney is kind of taking the reins and going really dark, especially with the Star Wars series. So do you think that sweet movies and dark movies can really set up the marketplace for Disney, or do you think they're going to have to choose one or the other?
They definitely have enough bases covered that they can do everything that they want to, for sure. They have enough IPs under their titles that they own.
Disney owns the world.
So,
yeah.
They're going to do it no matter what.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for
Honestly,
this movie,
it's gonna
and
be really great.
I can't wait to see the musical
I
numbers.
suppose more importantly, though, as a person who loved the original, is this okay? Is it okay? Like, considering, I mean, we saw the Lion King poster back there. I mean, they're remaking all of their classics. Is this okay to have a sequel 54 years after the original? Like, is this okay to you?
It is. And you want to know why?
Why?
Because it's not a remake, and it's different characters.
Okay.
And because it takes it to somewhere that it hasn't been before.
All right. There you go.
Yeah. So when you're getting something new out of a sequel, that's what you want. When
That's
it
what we
enhances the original story, that's what we want.
Yeah, we're looking at you, Transformers. Speaking of such, hopefully Bumblebee is good. But thank you for your take on that, Chase. We appreciate you. And Merry Christmas, I guess. And Merry Christmas to you guys out there. You'll notice I'm being rather festive right now.
All right.
It's just a little bit before Christmas, so you go off and have some festivities there. We got the North Pole magic working back there, so no worries. Ooh, this is an interesting one. Musicals in the mainstream. This is something that's very near and dear to my heart because I, of course, am a musical nerd. I've been in many musicals. I love the stage. I'm a huge Les Mis fan. La La Land was absolutely magical. So, I don't know. We had Les Mis back in the day, of course, make it to the film reel. Do musicals have a place in the mainstream? I'd say they do at this point. I mean, they're kind of taking hold, and the box office numbers are showing. People want musicals. It's a dark era, folks. I mean, 2018 has been a hell of a year, and we are eager to go back to those days of yore, back when everything was happy and daffy, and you could just go and get a sody pop down at the ice cream parlor. So hopefully this movie can bring back those. And yeah, I think we're going to be seeing more musicals in the future. That's a sincere hope for me. Now, I guess another thing we have to touch on are best and worst case scenarios. What I call, or essentially, you have the best case scenario of a sequel where you get something kind of like, what am I thinking of? Rogue One, which is technically a prequel, but I'm going to treat it like a sequel because it serves my purposes, and that's what the media does. We take what we want, when we want it, and when you don't want it. So with that, Rogue One had everything you could possibly want after the kind of disappointment that The Force Awakens was. It was really great. It rose above its predecessor. It was awesome. It didn't disrespect the previous one in any way. It just enhanced the total experience. That's what we want from this. We want children laughing. We want fantastic animation. We just want that authentic Mary Poppins experience with, a little bit of a modern twist on it. Now, worst case scenario, or what we kind of refer to as Operation Jar Jar Binks, essentially they could add in a whole bunch of characters that don't really matter. The storyline could go with a political agenda. The kids could be, just beyond bratty. The last thing we want in this movie is too much modernization. I mean, this is taking place in the 1930s. we just want the nostalgia back. That's it. That's all we can hope for at the end of this year with the warm fuzzies of Christmas and eggnog and all that type of stuff. So hopefully this movie can bring all that back and get the Christmas spirit going in those fans out there. Other than that, I think that's pretty much all I've got to say, which is a rarity, as you folks know. Other than that, just good luck to Emily Blunt, Lin-Manuel Miranda, Dick Van Dyke, good on you for getting out there. And I hope that Julie Andrews can sit back and watch this remake of the new movie peacefully and, not have any of that turning in her future grave, very far in the future grave, hopefully. So, folks, this has been Jeffrey D. Reich on Super Dave Raines and The Big Show for Big Show Entertainment Network. Own the love, folks, and thank you very, very much to Cinemark Carefree for having us out here. We love them. We love you guys. We'll see you next time.
Off we go.